Beautiful friends, beautiful family, loved ones, how are you? How the heck are you guys doing? Big hugs to all of you out there. Shalom, 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 and welcome. It's the beginning of this week, and boy, oh boy, Boss Clan is on a fast, and there's a lot of you guys out there who are fasting with us. A lot of you guys who are fasting for spiritual health. A lot of you guys fasting for answers. A lot of you fasting for physical health. And every time that you guys do a fast, it is very, very healthy for yourselves. If you're looking for a serum for anti-aging, it's fasting. If you're looking for a serum for heart disease, you found it. Fasting. If you're looking to reverse diabetes type 2, this will do it. If you are looking to give yourself brand new stem cells that cost the rest of the world $50,000 an injection, you found it. Fasting is the answer to all of this. If you're looking at stopping cancers in your system from going, well, it's all fasting. It's been proven that cancers come because of sugars, because of the carbohydrates, because of the food that we eat and that we ingest, which is why we live in a world full of disease and plagues and unhealthiness. Every bit of the food that we have has been contaminated. It has been full of aluminum. It's full of GMO food. It is full of trash and dyes and colorings and all these things that harm us. If you didn't know better, you would think that there was a slow kill going on amongst us. And for those of us that have lived through the events of this decade, you guys absolutely know that there was a slow kill going on, and it's still going on. And we've been told all these lies, all of these untruths, all of these things that somehow that our immune systems are not the most amazing things that our Creator has given us to get sick. We've all gotten scared of the cold. We all can't handle the sniffles or the sneezes or the achy body and the headaches of when our body is actually detoxing, when our body is actually getting rid of the nastiness that is in it. We've all been made in a beautiful, wonderful fashion. We are so unique. When it comes down to every count of hair on our heads, we are unique. Our Creator knows what we have. Every mole, freckle, pimple, everything that is on us has been aligned. It is known. And with that, our Creator has given us something that is absolutely stupendous, incredible, just a fantastic thing. We've been given Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And in those 5 books, we have a set of instructions that are righteous. When you are talking that word of today, oh, righteous dude. Well, these books are righteous dudes. They are a set apart doctrine, something that you will never find anywhere else. There's no medical establishment that will tell us very clearly what food is and what food isn't. There's no business people that will tell us exactly how to run our businesses the proper way. There's no guidelines for how we should run our families or take care of our kids or do any of that. But you'll find that in the first 5 books of scriptures. You will find beautiful instructions like don't drink the blood. Don't eat the fat off the meat. Don't do evil things in the eyes of our Creator. Don't tempt our Creator. And it is with all this good advice that 99% of the world has rejected this. 99% of the world, number one, doesn't even care what the first 5 books of Scripture say. And there's this little itty bitty tiny 1% of us. Very small group. It's not a lot. According to the second book of Ezra, it's a drop of water compared to a wave. How can that be? How can the people that actually care about our Creator and His ways and His Son be a drop of water compared to the wave? In fact, in the book of 2nd Ezra, that's all the people that are even saved. Well, how can this be? Because everybody says they love God. Everybody says they love Jesus. You have the Christians out there, they're all about Jesus. Jesus saves this and Jesus saves that. But yet, the Torah, the first 5 books of scriptures, mean nothing to them. It's a way of bondage. And they will tell you with a straight look in their face, with all sternness, oh, you don't want to be put under bondage. But I will tell you, my friends and family, that there is no greater freedom than the Torah. There is no greater way forward than the first 5 books of scriptures. When you slowly read these books and when you slowly write them up on your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit, and that you make them a part of your life will change. Everything in life changes. You no longer will yearn for the same kind of contaminated world that we live in. You will no longer wish for the kind of darkness that we watch on TV. You will no longer yearn for the kind of horrible songs that you hear in today's secular music. There's a set apart people, and these people are what you call covenant people. And these people that are in covenant are Yahuwah's people. They are the people of the kingdom. They are the remnant, a very small set of people. And these people are the people who will be saved. When you read the book of Hebrews, particularly chapter 8, it talks about a future people. A people that are called by the house of Yisrael or the house of Yahudah. 2 different houses comprise all 12 tribes of Yisrael. Now, there's something that you don't hear in this. You don't have the house of Christian. You don't have the house of Mormon or Catholic or house of Hindu. You don't have the house of Buddhism. You have the house of Yisrael and the house of Yahudah. And these houses are called together at the end times. And all of these people from all these tribes and nations and tongues and places, they celebrate one common theme: the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of our Creator. They call out to our name of our Creator. They call out to the name of our Messiah. They know that our Messiah came not to free people from the law, but to show people that we could absolutely keep the law. We're not going to be perfect. We're going to fall from grace. We're going to fall from the Torah. We're going to walk every single day where we probably trip into sin. We probably have dark thoughts. We probably have something that would make it so our Father frowns at us every single day. But it is by His mercy and His grace that He will take those who are obedient to Him and seek them, as long as we are seeking Him. But for those who have nailed the laws to the cross, it doesn't matter to you anymore. It's just a nuance, just a headache. Like, who would want to keep the laws of our Creator, right? It's ignorance. And ignorance is not bliss when you're standing in the fire. We're not going to get out of this if we are disloyal to our Creator when He has given us everything that is loyal. When you look at our bodies, when you look at our temples, when you look at everything, that is loyalty of a Creator, a perfect Creator who designed us in a perfect fashion. A fashion that doesn't have our ears at the bottom of our feet. Our nose isn't on our knees. Our mouth isn't on our hips. Everything that we have that we breathe in and hear from and the vital extremities are sitting at the top. So that we're able to go in a lake of water and come back up and breathe. We don't bang our knee on the wall and break our nose. We don't stub our toes and crush our ears, or hear things all the time from stepping and can't hear anybody talking because it's at the very bottom. So in this fashion that we have been perfected in a perfected fashion, we need to give back to our Creator every bit of loyalty that He has given to us. And it is how we can become a remnant. It is how you and I can become a family. Because Torah-based families are what the kingdom is all about. That's how our families are defined. Those who keep the laws and statutes and the commandments of our Creator. So if that sounds like something good that you would like to do, then I invite you guys today to read your scriptures. To start at the very beginning of the book and go slowly. In fact, you can get an app from Yah Scriptures. You can go to the Android store, or you can go to the Apple store. Just type in Yah Scriptures, 2 words, just like this. And in Yah Scriptures, at the very first page that you're even on when you pull up your app, there's a Torah command. These Torah commands have been laid out in a very definitive manner. And it has about 158 commands that you and I can keep today, that we can keep for all generations, all times, all peoples. And when we do this, then we have made a choice and a conscious decision that we want to be children of the Most High. And it is with that our Creator and His Son will accept us in the kingdom to come. And so, guys, it is time that all of us take a very good look at our lives. We take a look at our speech. We take a look at our words, how we are talking to people, how we're conducting our business, how we're living. And are we holding up to the ends of the Torah? Are we making our Father in the Shamayim happy? Or is He disgruntled at us? Right? There's no other way, and there's no other path. And the second that we take our very last breath is the time that it is game over. And we're going to go to judgment. We're going to go to the selections place. We're either going to go to a place of misery, or we're going to go to a place of happiness. And there's not going to be a second chance. We have a million chances here on this lands that we have been given from our birth to where it is right now. And so, guys, I urge you, I beg with you, I'm asking you from every last depths of my heart to seek our Creator where He's able to be found, and to love Him, and to do His will, and to do His ways. And so, guys, with that, let's get into our reading today. We are reading out of the book of Enoch. It is tremendous, and you don't need to get caught up on this, because I'm going to get you caught up. I'm going to get you caught up. We are into chapter 28 today, and I will take you through the first 27 chapters, so you don't even have to ever go back to this other stuff. We can talk about this, and we can figure out what in the world's going on from right here. Right before your eyes is the Yah Scriptures, the greatest English translation you will ever find, bar none. You have all the free versions of it. You have the eSword module. You have all the PDFs. You have the Android app. You have the iOS app. Everything that we can possibly give away free is absolutely given away free. And the ministry that is with Yah Scriptures is that you guys are enabling us to give Bibles into prisons away for free. That is what our ministry is. And I know that there's a lot of you guys out there that have asked us for scriptures that are in the free world. And I wish I could. I wish I could. But we've given you guys all the digital platforms that you guys can download today, and there's no internet connection needed. There'll never be a charge. There'll never be anything. And so that is the blessing, the baruka from our Creator. Now, for those who want the big blue book, it's £7. It's 3,153 pages. We've never had somebody say this is a terrible book. We have people that order these a lot. This is a limited edition print, and it's limited edition because I don't know the will of our Creator. I don't know if we're going to be getting another big blue book in. For now, we still have adequate inventory, and lots of people love this book. Lots of people are getting it for their little ecclesias, and it is a fantastic book. It's bulletproof. It is a big book. I will tell you guys without a shadow of a doubt that it is not a light book, and there's carrying cases you can get for them, I think for like $11 or $12, that make it far more handy to move these big boys around. But this is what it is. This is the front of the book. It has Paleo-Hebrew, which I know everybody out there is always arguing, how do you say Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh? Guys, it's not God. That's what we can hopefully all agree on that are in the Torah community. Same for our beautiful Messiah, Yahushua. Some say it's not Yahushua. Some say it's Yeshua. Some say it's Yesha. It is Paleo-Hebrew, right? This is what we can count on is the Paleo-Hebrew, and that's what the scriptures has, because over 7,000 times they put in the name God, taking out the name of our Creator, and we're supposed to sing the name of our Creator, sing the name of His Son. And do we have it pronounced wrong in the English version? Maybe. But at the end of the day, we're talking about a Paleo-Hebrew name. And so, guys, this is what the Yah Scriptures is all about, bringing this restored names scriptures to all of you guys. Now, here we are. This is the Yah Scriptures app, free of charge, absolutely free. You can get it on the Apple Store, Android Store, and when you guys get this, the main verse that we have right here is the Shema. It's Deuteronomy 6:4-9. It's Hear, O Yisrael, and it's actually Hear and Obey is what the Shema originally was. So it's not just hear, it's that we obey, right? And what are we obeying? The words of our Creator. The first 5 books, the book with the words of Moshe, right? Moshe didn't make any of this stuff. He didn't make any of this stuff up. He was simply dictating what our Creator had given to him. But we're supposed to love our Elohim with all our heart, with all our being and all our might, right? We're supposed to write these on our hearts, on our minds. We're supposed to impress them on our children. That's not just talking to your kids, right? That's like tattooing this, right? Of course, we don't tattoo because there's no command. The command says not to tattoo, but it's, you guys understand where I'm going with this, right? And it's not only just supposed to be this, it's supposed to be that we sit in our house and talk about them, that when we're walking by the way, we talk about them. And when we're lying down, when we're getting up, are we praying? Are we seeking our Creator? Are we writing them as a sign on our hands, frontlets between our eyes? Everything that we do in this life should be through the lens of the Torah. That's why anything else of any kind of religion that is contrary to what the Torah says is evil. And we need to come back to our Creator. We need to come back to His ways. And you're not going to find this in the religious system. There's not 400,000 different religious systems. And I will tell you, I've looked through a tremendous amount of them, and not a single one of them has a focus on the Torah. Even Judaism is not Torah-based. Judaism has a tremendous amount of other books, oral Torah, Kabbalah, Zohar, things that are black magic, mysticism, right? That's not what our Creator wants us to do. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. So we need to come back to our Creator's ways. Now, right here is the Torah commands in this beautiful app. And this is where you guys can sit there and you can read these Torah commands. It'll only take you, less than 10 minutes to go through these. And we're supposed to know them, right? We're supposed to know when somebody offers you up a big chunk of fat on a steak that you don't eat that, or a rare steak that blood just seeping out of this stuff. We don't eat the blood, right? This is our ways. This is our doctrine. This is our government ruling of the kingdom to come, along with our current ruling. And so, guys, with that, let us get into Enoch. Actually, before that, let's go into it. I'm going to recap you guys real quick. Okay, let's take it from the top. These chapters, the words that we're reading today, all these chapters are what they originally had. It's called the Book of the Watchers, and it's the first major section of First Enoch, and it's ancient Jewish text. Definitely not found in the regular canon because they pulled this out. This was stuff that was supposed to be in it. These are books, and it's a book that there's a lot of scriptures that are, have you seen it in the Book of Enoch, right? A lot of people talk about this book. Now, chapters 1-5 are about judgment and blessings. Enoch's prophetic vision, a message for the future generations, the righteous, not the present wicked. The coming of the Holy One, Elohim is coming with his host to judge the earth. Judgment of the wicked. The earth will be destroyed by sin, but the righteous will receive peace and blessings. Nature, obey Yahuwah, the sun, the moon, the stars, rain, the clouds. It is all in commandment with our Creator. The key theme is that the righteous will be saved, a little remnant, right? And divine judgment is inevitable and is coming. Chapter 6-11 talks about the angels' fall, the 200 different fallen angels, the messengers that were bad, led by Semiyaza and Aziel. They descend to the earth. They mate with the human women. There's the birth of the Nephilim. The offspring are the giants who bring violence and sorcery and corruption. There's corruption of the earth, bloodshed and forbidden knowledge plague the creation. Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, they report to Yahuwah. They're like, hey, it's bad down here. What do we do? And it's not like they need to report this up because we know that our Creator sees and hears everything. He knows all this, but they are complaining to him and saying, what do we do? So Azazel is bound and cast into the darkness. There's a divine cleansing. The flood is announced to purify the earth. The key theme of those ones is that the fall of the Watchers corrupts humanity and nature, prompting judgment. Now, chapters 12 through 16, Enoch intercedes for the Watchers. Enoch's mission is that, Yahuwah sends Enoch to rebuke the fallen angels. Enoch is overwhelmed by the Watchers' punishment and visions of coming judgment. The Watchers are pleading. They ask Enoch to intercede with Yahuwah, but he rejects their petition. Judgment sealed. They are doomed to eternal chains and condemnation. Even the angels are not above the law. Mercy is not granted when rebellion is willful. And that's a key word, guys, right? When we say the laws have been nailed to the cross, we are willfully rebellious. We have tossed the laws on the stake. We have said they don't apply to us. It's nothing to us. We are going to be judged based upon the same way these messengers will be judged. Chapters 17 through 19 talk about Enoch's heavenly journey. It's a tour of creation. Enoch is guided by angels through strange lands, fiery mountains, cosmic rivers, and heavenly prisons. Places of judgment. He sees the punishment, realms for stars, spirits, and rebellious beings. The secrets of heaven. Enoch is shown how creation is ordered and the places where the fallen are bound. The universe is moral and structured realm. Everything has its appointed place and fate. Now, chapters 20 through 22 talk about the angels and the afterlife. We talk about 7 different angels. We have Uriel, Raphael, Raguel, Michael, Serachiel, Gabriel, and Remiel. And it talks about Sheol, described. The afterlife is compartmentalized. 4 hollows for the souls of men, righteous with peace, sinners awaiting judgment, those who cry for vengeance like Abel, the wicked. The dead await judgment, and separated realms of righteous have hope. Now, chapters 23 through 27 are about cosmic justice and the ends of the earth. Enoch sees fiery elements of divine wrath prepared for judgment day, a cursed place for sinners and idolaters. There's a blessed valley of the righteous, of peace, light, and joy for those who fear Yahuwah. The key theme is divine geography. It reflects divine justice, eternal separation of good and evil. And so, guys, it is with that we will go into our reading. And this is the book of Enoch, chapter 28. And this is Enoch as he is on a tour of the cosmos, of the heavens, of the place of our Creator. Now, let me grab a quick sip. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Chapter 28. Here we are. And then I went towards the east, into the midst of the mountain range of the desert, and I saw a wilderness, and it was solitary, full of trees and plants, and water gushed forth from above, rushing like a plentiful watercourse towards the northwest. It caused clouds and dew to ascend on every side. And then I went to another place in the desert, approached to the east of this mountain range. And there I saw aromatic trees, exhaling the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh. And the trees were also similar to the almond tree. Amazing place, right? How would you guys like to have this beautiful place of such an existence? And when you look at eternity, when you look at all these extracurricular books, all these Apocrypha books, it's very, very clear that eternity for us is a good place. It is a fragrant place. It is a place of peace. It is a place of, we don't have these devils and demons that we have to battle like we have to battle now, right? We will have made it through our testing time, and eternity for those who are righteous, who are loyal to our Creator, is a beautiful place. 30. And beyond these, I went far to the east, and I saw another place, a valley of water. And therein there was a tree, the color of fragrant trees, such as the gum tree. And on the sides of those valleys I saw fragrant cinnamon. And beyond these, I proceeded to the east. Sounds like a good kitchen, right? Sounds like a beautiful place to be hanging out. And I saw other mountains, and amongst them were groves of trees, and their sweet liquid flowed forth from them, which is named Sarah and Galbanum. And beyond these mountains I saw another mountain to the east of the ends of the earth, whereupon were aloe trees, and all the trees were full of incense, being like almond trees. And when one burnt it, it smelled sweeter than any fragrant odor. And after these fragrant odors, as I looked towards the north over the mountains, I saw 7 mountains full of choice nard and fragrant trees and cinnamon and pepper. And then I went over the summits of all these mountains far towards the east of the earth, and passed above the eastern sea, and went far from it, and passed over the messenger, Zatiel. There's a new one. And I came to the garden of righteousness, and saw beyond those trees, many large trees growing there, and of pleasant fragrance, large, very pleasant and great, and the tree of wisdom, of which they eat and know great wisdom. That tree is in height like the fir, and its leaves are like the carob tree, and its fruit like the clusters of the vine, very lovely. And the fragrance of the tree penetrates afar. Then I said, how lovely is that tree, and how good to look at. Then Raphael, the Kodesh messenger, who was with me, answered me and said, this is the tree of wisdom, of which your elderly father and aged mother, who were before you, have eaten. And they learned wisdom, and their eyes were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they were driven out of the garden. So this gives us a little bit more about this tree, right? A little bit more than, everybody says this is like some apple tree or something, or that has been the consensus that somehow it's an apple. And this is, why you have a satanic company like Apple in of themselves, right? In like 1980, their very first Mac was $666.66. And they have an apple with a bite out of it, like it's a good thing to have done what happened. But you can look at this tree, right? How fragrant it was, right? Imagine our foremother Kawa and Adam as they're sitting there smelling this, right? Being next to this tree. If Enoch is able to smell this thing from afar, this thing must have just been potent as far as the smell, and how incredible this tree would be. But how much chaos did it bring in that, our eyes were open to the great evils of this world, and to understanding that we were not meant to understand. And from there I went to the ends of the earth, and saw their great beasts, and each differed from the other, and birds also differing in appearance and form and voice, the one differing from the other. And to the east of those beasts I saw the ends of the earth, whereon the Shamaim rests, and the portals of the Shamaim open. And I saw how the stars of the Shamaim came forth, and I counted the portals out of which they proceeded, and wrote down all their outlets of each individual star by itself, according to their number, and their names, their courses, and their positions, and their times, and their months, as Uriel, the Kodesh messenger who was with me, showed me. Big, interesting stuff, right? I think eternity is going to be filled with all these different animals that have probably like died off throughout our times, but we know from the extracurricular books that, especially from the book of Adam and Kawa, that the animals used to speak in the same tongue as we did. And I think it would be, just incredible for those who are with this channel and those who are with us. You guys know we at one point we had 10 pit bulls. One died of bone cancer, but we have 9 pit bulls, and we live in a dog pack. We literally live in an unkennelled dog pack. These guys don't have leashes. They don't have chains. They don't have little houses. They dwell in and amongst us as the humans do. They are as free as any animal could ever be. And they talk. They talk in their own way, obviously with barks, but they, there's something, I don't want to call it ESP, extrasensory perception, but the dogs know when another dog is trying to be bad or trying to do something without even barking, without even saying a word. Their body language and the way they move, the way they talk, it's like there's some sort of communication that goes on beyond simple barking. And yes, of course, growling is a sign of aggression or upsettedness or something of the sort. But there is an incredible thing about these creatures and critters that our Creator has made. And, when you're talking about, man's best friend, besides our creator and his son and the messengers, I truly believe that, dogs are Elohim's, one of his most incredible creations, because they finish off a man. They will walk beside you, talk beside you. They will be comfort to you. They're everything for you, right? Their lives depend upon your happiness, and they want you to be happy. And it's an incredible bond, a man and his beasts. Now, continuing on, and to the east, those beasts I saw the ends of the earth, whereon the Shamaim rest, and the portals of the Shamaim open. And I saw how the stars of the Shamaim come forth. And I counted the portals out of which they proceed, and wrote down all their outlets of each individual star by itself. I think I read this, but I'm going through it again. Of each individual star by itself, according to their number and their names, their courses and their positions, and their times and their months, as Uriel, the Kodesh messenger, who was with me, showed me. He showed all matters to me, and wrote them down for me. All their names he wrote for me, and their laws and their beginnings. A lot of stuff right here, right? Because right here we get some stuff, right? We get where do the stars, moon, and sun come out of? And it says portals that they proceed from. And as we get further into the book of Enoch is an absolute flat earth book. There's zero that would ever lead us to believe that we're monkeys on a spinning water ball going around, 1,000 miles an hour here and there through in the solar systems and all this other mumbly jumbly goobly gook that they have shoved down our throats and put spinning balls in everybody's schools growing up. The indoctrination is extremely deep, and this is some of the stuff that you get out of scriptures, right? And when I say indoctrination is deep, it's not just the spinning ball, right? All food has been made clean is indoctrination. Sunday worship is indoctrination. Not keeping any of the laws, statutes, and commands because they're bondage, that's indoctrination, right? These are all traditions of men, things that are not in scriptures, not found in scriptures, that we have been taught by people who are either knowing deceivers, ignorant, or just don't care, I guess. 34. And from there, I went towards the north to the ends of the earth. And there I saw a great and magnificent object at the ends of the whole earth. And here, Yahuwah of hosts, I saw 3 portals of the Shamaim open in the Shamaim. Through each of them proceed north winds. When they blow, there is cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. And out of one portal they blow for good. But when they blow through the other 2 portals, it is with violence and affliction on the earth, and they blow with violence. Wow. Okay, so it's very interesting because, supposedly if the world was spinning around at 1,000 miles an hour and hurtling around the sun at another 1,000 miles an hour, our lives would be very windy, right? Would you ever have a moment of peace? Would there ever not be a time that you couldn't feel, it's like driving down the road at 70 miles an hour and rolling your windows down, right? What happens? But we would be going 1,000 miles an hour in one direction, but yet we never feel the endless wind. It's not just blowing us and hurtling us. That leads me to believe that we've been lied to about a tremendous amount of things. So what are we talking about here in this book? Well, we're talking about portals of the Shamaim, right? This is where we have some sort of openings. And out of these openings are where we get cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. And also one portal that blows for good, and 2 other portals, they blow for violence. And, down here in the jungles of Panama, we have 3 seasons. We have wet season, dry season, and a windy season, hurricane season. It's not really even hurricanes. It's that the wind comes from various directions, and it feels like your entire little tin-roofed house is going to get blown to smithereens. It is violent. And so as we are dealing with this violence of this wind, where does it come from, right? It's obviously not happening all the time. It only happens for, 20 days of the entire year. So how does that account for us spinning around the sun, being water monkeys? That doesn't, right? We're lied to. We got to dust off ourselves and figure out that everything we've been told is pretty much a lie, and the only truth that we can find is in Scriptures. 35. And from there I went towards the west, to the ends of the earth, and saw there 3 portals of the Shamaim open, such as I had seen in the east. The same number of portals and the same number of outlets. Okay, so we have 3 portals, right? At the end. Well, we actually had the 1 portals that the sun, rain, dew, all that came out of. And then we also have the 3 portals, right? The 1 for the good wind and the 2 for the bad wind. Makes sense, right? You have a whole bunch of air coming around. You wouldn't force it all out one little hole. You would put it out the same kind of holes that it came in. So the outlets were right there. He's describing the wind system. How does a wind work? How does this all happen, right? The violent winds and the good winds. The breezes versus the hurricane wind. 36. Time just flies, guys. It just really, really flies with you guys. I have such a good time reading with you guys. I really, really enjoy the time and the camaraderie and the friends and the family that we all have here. And even the people that hate me, toss rocks at me. It's interesting. So here we are, 36. And from there I went to the south, to the ends of the earth, and saw there 3 open portals of the Shamaim. And then there come dew, rain, and wind. Okay, so we have more portals that continue on that have this dew, rain, and wind. And from there I went to the east, to the ends of the Shamaim, and saw where the 3 eastern portals of the Shamaim open, and small portals above them. Little holes everywhere, right? Little portals. What do you call it? What you want to call it? They're holes. They're entries and exits. Through each of these small portals pass the stars of the Shamaim and run their course to the west on the path which is shown to them. And as often as I saw, I barak, always Yahuwah of esteem, and I continue to barak Yahuwah of esteem, who has wrought great and magnificent wonders to show the greatness of his work to the messengers and to spirits and to men, that they might praise his work and all his creation, that they might see the work of his might and praise the great work of his hands and barak him forever. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I think we're going to end it right here. I think 36 is good. I think we just made it to the end of a very interesting descriptions. And so what do we get from this? What do we gather? Well, we either gather that man is telling us the truth about all of this stuff that happens around us, or that scriptures tell us the truth. And as much as I've seen, I'm nearing 50 years old, I don't believe man anymore. I don't trust man anymore. I've seen enough throughout the years, especially this decade, that has been a very, very crazy decade going down. We've seen what man is capable of doing. We've seen the lies that we have been told that they want us to inherit. They're constantly telling us that there's other civilizations and all these ETs and UFOs and all these other life forms out there, and I don't believe them. I believe what our Creator has, that he created our little environment right here, and we are his creations. We have been designed in a magnificent way with little tiny brains, actually big brains. In comparison to computer systems, a brain is still, you got to have clusters of computers to even go near what the human brain is. Our Creator is wise. He is beautiful. His words are beautiful. His ways are beautiful. His creation, all of this, grass and stars and moon and trees, it's all just beautiful. So guys, with that, it will be definitely next on Wednesday when I speak to you again, Yah willing. Hopefully I'll still be standing up. It'll be day 4 by that time of fasting. And a huge shout out to all of you guys out there who are fasting with us. Team fasting, right? Enjoy this. Drink some tea. You can drink, tea that doesn't actually have like any kind of food in it, and keep yourself hydrated. Take chunks of salt. Make sure you put a lot of salt. A lot of people drink salt in their water. I just chew on the salt, but I guess I'm a weirdo. But you need lots of salt to keep your metabolism well, keep your electrolytes well, and chunks of salt will do that for you. Now, I will urge you, or something to consider is that if you do take a lot of salt and put it in water and take a big swig of it, it will turn your stomach upside down. It will feel not so good. So be very, very cautious on this. Seek our Creator. Let's pray a lot. And let's all catch each other on the other side. Let's high five each other in the kingdom to come as we all greet each other and meet each other in the physical form and just congratulate each other for being loyal to our Creator. Thank you all. Much love to you all. Shalom, shalom, shalom.